Hello, fellow movie watchers. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Movies I've watched. Got a big stack here today. Rumor has it, Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Costner, Shirley MacLaine, and Mark Ruffalo. Not a bad movie. Like, I'm really not a big Jennifer Aniston fan, but this movie was pretty funny, actually. Kevin Costner, I think, made the movie. The Best of Me. We've got James Marsden and Michelle Monaghan. This is, I guess, one of those love romance type things where the guy gets the girl, guy loses the girl, and the guy may get the girl again at the end. But it was entertaining, worth watching. Whiplash. Oh, this was a good movie here. We got Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. This young kid wanted to be part of the jazz band in one of those conservatories, and he just basically play the drums till his hands were bleeding. Really good story if you like music, into music. When the Game Stands Tall, we got Jim Caviezel. He's the person of interest guy. Laura Dern playing her usual mom role. God, she does that so well. She has to be on top of the list as, you need a mom in a movie, you call Laura Dern. It's about football, and it's about more than football, more about the men that play it, and, the game after the game of life. Moving on, Foxcatcher, Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo again. Mark does a really good job in this movie. It's based on a true story. And it's a good flick. And Steve Carell, usually he plays that, goofy office type guy. But this one, he's starring as DuPont. And what DuPont did for wrestling. And it's kind of a, I don't know, sad movie. But it's another, real life movie. So, worth watching. A Winter's Tale, Colin Farrell, Jessica Brown Findlay, and Russell Crowe. Now, unfortunately, this movie went into the fantasy realm. And had I known it was into the fantasy realm, because I just don't have any interest in that kind of stuff. But it wasn't a bad movie for a fantasy movie. I'd actually say, yeah, it's worth watching. It's not a turkey, that's for sure. Liam Neeson, A Walk Among the Tombstones. Oh, this was a good flick here. Definitely. He's used to be a cop, now he's an investigator. He's basically a tough guy. Good movie. And also, Liam Neeson in Taken 3. Same thing. If you like his movies, you're gonna like those too. Action, usually wins in the end. Bad guys get their due. Okay, The Alphabet Killer. Eliza Dushku. Timothy Hutton. Pretty good movie. A little on the sick side, but not too twisted. It's definitely worth watching. Enemy. Now this movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, I'll tell you something. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. And I'm not quite sure I understood what was happening. I might have to watch it again. But it's definitely one of those movies that makes you think twice. So I would recommend it if you like a movie that challenges you. The Thing About My Folks. Peter Falk, Paul Reisner, Olympia Dukakis. This was a good movie, father and dad type tale where, they didn't get along. Now as men, they're going to start to bond. Good movie. I enjoyed it. The Island President. True story. Gets into the global warming tall tales. I mean, the thing about global warming, if you don't know, they broke in, they found the scientists' notes, and they found out that they were all fudging the numbers. But the thing about this movie is, it's a true story, and it goes that this guy had a lot of courage. I mean, the president, who was president before him that preceded him was basically a dictator. I mean, he just had his goons out there beating people, and he was winning the elections by like 95%, which was just unheard of. But this guy, you know, he took his beatings, he spent his time in jail, and then he came to power. But the thing about this movie is it shows scenes in Macau, his home country, shows scenes in the U.S., shows scenes in Copenhagen, and it's basically the same thing. You've got the local force, the police, the army, basically in riot gear beating on the populace. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a dictator or a president or a king. It's basically those in power want to keep it that way, and they will beat down those who don't want them in power. And finally, A Man Most Wanted. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Rachel McAdams. This was a pretty interesting movie. It once again goes to show what lengths the government will go to do whatever they want to do to you. Really good movie though. So, there you have it. Bunch of movies. Lucked out. Not a turkey in the bunch. I guess my movie picker's improving. Once again, thanks for watching and thanks for your suggestions. I tell you, a couple of those movies, my library just doesn't have them, so I guess I just won't get to see them unless maybe I luck up and I'm visiting somebody that has Netflix or a big library collection of movies. But anyway, you enjoy the movies you've been watching and don't run out of popcorn.